Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are setting the stage for a real-life, honest-to-goodness treasure hunt. But listen, instead of a faded pirate's map with a big red X marking the spot, we are diving deep into the bureaucratic vaults of the state of Minnesota. We're talking about a massive, sprawling pool of lost wealth. And there is a very, very real possibility that some of it literally has your name on it. Prepare yourself for this staggering number. Right now, the state of Minnesota is holding over $1 billion in perpetual trust. I mean, $1 billion. This isn't some theoretical, funny money. We're talking tangible cash, stocks, and assets belonging to everyday citizens. And honestly, the most shocking part? State officials estimate you have a 1 in 20 chance of having some of this money waiting specifically for you. Think about that for a second. If you're watching this, or maybe sharing it with friends and family, the odds are incredibly high that someone you know is essentially sitting on hidden wealth without even realizing it. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our exact map for today. We'll cover the $1 billion treasure, how to actually search for your money, preparing your claim, filing and following up, handling special cases and errors, and finally, our wrap-up and disclaimer. Section 1. The $1 billion treasure. Now, I know a lot of people are naturally a bit skeptical when they hear the phrase free money. So to kick things off, let's clearly define what unclaimed property actually is. It simply refers to financial assets held by businesses where there has been absolutely zero contact from the owner for a specific period of time. Under Minnesota law, when an asset sits completely dormant, which is generally for 3 years, the holding business is legally required to hand it over to the state. The state then holds it in perpetual trust. So basically, it's a consumer protection measure, ensuring businesses don't just quietly pocket your forgotten money. What makes Minnesota's fund so incredibly unique is the heavy weighting of Twin Cities corporate assets. Because the state is home to Fortune 500 giants like Target, 3M, and Best Buy, a massive chunk of this property comes from uncashed payroll checks, forgotten pension distributions, and lost corporate dividends. And here's a really surprising fact. While the standard dormancy period is 3 years, unclaimed wages and final paychecks actually escheat to the state after just 1 single year of inactivity. Yeah, 1 year. On the flip side, physical items left behind in safe deposit boxes have a slightly longer 5-year dormancy period. Section 2. Searching for your money. When you go to search, you really need to think like a private investigator, trying to overcome clerical errors. First off, search every possible name variation. In Minnesota, this is absolutely crucial for Scandinavian spellings. Like, if your name is Anderson with an E, you've got to search for Anderson with an O as well. Try maiden names and old nicknames, too. Next, don't just search your current city. You want to search every single Minnesota zip code you've ever lived in. Third, search the names of your former employers, especially if you worked in the big Twin Cities corporate sector or anywhere in the massive Mayo Clinic healthcare ecosystem down in Rochester. And finally, whatever you do, don't forget to run these exact same searches for your relatives. You have 2 main tools at your disposal, and it's super important to know which one to use when. MissingMoney.com is a fantastic national aggregator. If you've lived all over the map in multiple states, definitely start there to cast a really wide net. However, when it comes to properties specifically held in Minnesota, you are going to want to go directly to unclaimedproperty.mn.gov. That is the definitive, authoritative state portal managed by the Minnesota Department of Commerce. It is hands down your primary tool for initiating a Minnesota claim. Section 3. Preparing your claim. Now, what's really interesting about preparing to file is how strict the state is to prevent fraud. They require absolute proof of your identity. To break it down simply, you will need the generated claim form, signed by you. You'll need a highly legible copy of your government-issued ID. You absolutely must verify your Social Security number, usually by providing a copy of the card or an official tax document. And finally, and this is often the trickiest part for older claims, you need proof of association with the original address tied to the property. This could be an old utility bill, a pay stub, or maybe a W-2 from a decade ago. So you'll definitely want to start digging those up early. Section 4. Filing and following up. When you generate your official claim form, it's going to come pre-filled with all the specific property details. You'll need to verify your address on it and, of course, sign it. But listen up, because here is a critical detail you cannot forget. If your claim is valued at over $5,000, your signature on this form must be legally notarized before you submit it. Seriously, don't skip that step, or your paperwork will just get sent right back to you, delaying the whole process. Now, the official instructions accompanying these forms lay out your submission pathways. Minnesota has modernized this quite a bit. If you're dealing with a straightforward, low-dollar cash claim, you can often initiate and track the whole thing entirely online through their portal, even uploading your documents directly. However, for those larger claims, over $5,000, or claims involving more complex assets like securities and mutual funds, you are generally going to be following a strict, documentation-heavy paper path through the good old-fashioned mail. Section 5. Special Cases and Heirs. If you are a corporate officer claiming funds on behalf of an active or even a dissolved business entity, the bar for proof is understandably a lot higher. You can't just use your personal driver's license here. You must provide proof of the business's federal employer identification number. You'll also need certified corporate records from the Minnesota Secretary of State, something like a certificate of good standing. But most importantly, you need documented proof of signing authority to show the state that you are the specific executive, partner, or manager who is actually legally authorized to collect money on behalf of that company. Claiming property on behalf of a deceased relative is incredibly common. You'll need their certified death certificate and your own ID. But for smaller estates where you aren't going through full probate, you will rely on the Minnesota Small Estate Affidavit. So the crucial point is this: that affidavit must be fully notarized, and by law, you can only use it if at least 30 days have elapsed since the person's passing, and no personal representative has been appointed by a court. Getting this affidavit right is absolutely the key to unlocking inherited property. Section 6. Final Steps and Disclaimer. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why you need to take action today. Just take a look at a recent 12-month period. The Minnesota Department of Commerce processed 15,000 claims and paid out a very impressive $50 million to consumers, which is great. But in that exact same time frame, they received over $150 million in new unclaimed property from companies. The state is quite literally taking in money 3 times faster than citizens are claiming it. The vault is only getting fuller, folks. Jacqueline Olson, a senior director at the Department of Commerce, perfectly captures the spirit of this whole program. She reminds us that these aren't just dry line items on a spreadsheet. They are potential treasures and real connections to our past. And remember, the best news of all in this: there's absolutely no statute of limitations to claim this property in Minnesota because it's held in perpetual trust. It is literally never too late to search for yourself, your grandparents, or an old family business. Quick note before we wrap up. Please note, this explainer is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. Please contact a legal or financial advisor for personalized guidance. Which leaves us with just one final, very important question to ask. Have you checked your name, your parents' names, or your old business today? The billion-dollar treasure is out there waiting. Head over to the Minnesota Department of Commerce portal, run those smart searches we just talked about, gather up your documents, and go claim what is rightfully yours. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy hunting.